Welcome to Sam Bass Theater's production at Hillbilly Hamlet. I got just a few reminders before we get rolling. There will be a 15-minute intermission between Acts 1 and 2. Restrooms are located in the building directly across the porch yonder. And kindly remember to hush them phones up. If you still have a beeper, bless your heart, but hush it up too. In case of an emergency, please exit through the doors on the left and right sides of the theater in an orderly fashion. No jumping over toddlers and elderly folks. If you enjoy the show, be sure to leave us a review and share your experience in all the Twitters and books of faces and Instagrams. If you don't enjoy it, feel free to keep it to yourself. And don't forget to join us for our upcoming holiday production, Christmas Traditions. You can bring the kids to that one because it has way less murder. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Sorry, y'all, there's going to be just slight brief hold. Thanks for your patience.
Older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country road, take me home to the place
I belong.
Who's there?
Hey, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself.
Horatio,
She, long live the king.
come most carefully upon your hour.
'Tis struck 12. Get thee to bed, Francisco.
That takes us a bit cold.
Have you had a quiet guard?
Not a mouse stirring.
Has this thing appeared again tonight?
I've seen nothing.
'Tis but fantasy.
If again this apparition comes, approve my eyes and speak to it.
'Tis will not appear.
Well, sit down and let me once again and tell yours that are so fortified against my story what I do not see.
Well, sit you down, Francisco, and tell of this.
Yes, now, cool air. Please look! Where it comes again! Looks not like the dead king!
Much like it harrows me with fear.
Now, our scholars, speak to him, Horatio!
Aye.
Wait a minute, Horatio!
What art thou that dost usurp this time of night with that fair form, the very majesty of Denmark? By heaven, I charge thee! Speak!
Lady is offended.
Stay! Speak! Speak, I charge thee, speak!
He is gone. Now, Horatio, tremble and look pale. It's not more than a fantasy?
By my God, I would not disbelieve without mine own eyes.
It's not like the dead king.
Thus thou art to thyself.
But now tell me, why is he strict the most observant watch so nightly toils the subjects of the land that he informed me?
Let us impart what we have seen tonight to young Hamlet, for upon the life of me, this spirit, dumb to us, will speak to him.
Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it us befitted to bear our hearts in grief, that we with wisest sorrow think on him, together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore, our sometime sister, now our queen, have we taken to wife. And now, Laertes, you told us of some suit. What wouldst thou beg?
My dread lord, your leave and favor to return to France, from whence so willingly I came to Denmark to show my duty in your coronation.
Have you your father's leave? Which is Polonius?
And he hath, my lord. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Well, take thy fair hour, Laertes, time be thine, spend it at thy will. But now, Hamlet, our cousin, and our son,
Little more than kin, less than kind.
how is it the clouds still hang on you?
And so, my lord, I'm too much in the sun.
Good, Hamlet. Cast thine nighted color off, and let thine eye look as a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lids seek thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st 'tis common. All that lives must die.
Not madam, 'tis common.
If it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems? Right, it is, I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black that can know be true. These seem, they are actions that a man might play. I have an image passeth shows me the trappings and suits of work.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father, but you must know, your father lost a father, that father lost his. To persevere is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly greed. Fine! 'Tis a fault to heaven, a fault towards the dead, a fault to nature. We pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe. Think of us as a father, but let the world take note. You are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than dearest father bears his son, do I impart toward you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire. We beseech you, remain here in the cheer and the comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall, in all my best, obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and a fair reply. Madam, come, this gentle and unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart. Oh, come away.
Too solid flesh would but melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or, the everlasting and not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Well, fine. 'Tis an unweeded garden, grown to see things rank and gross in nature. That it should come to this. 2 months dead. Nay, not 2. Not so much. So excellent a king that was so loving to my mother, and yet, in a month, nothing home. See, thy name is woman. For peace would have mourned longer. Married with my uncle. My father's brother, but more like my father than I to her. It is not, nor can it come to good. Break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Answer your lordship,
Horatio, I'm glad to see thee well.
my sweet lord.
What make you at Elsinore?
My lord.
I'll teach you to drink deep during the park. What make you from Wittenberg, Horatio?
I came to see your father's funeral.
I pray you do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, it followed hard upon.
Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats. You coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. My father. Thinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
My mind's eye, Horatio. I shall not look upon his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
For God's love, let me hear.
2 nights together had a gentleman on watch in the dead vast and middle of the night, then thus encountered. The figure, like your father, appeared before him. This to me in dreadful secrecy did he impart, and I with him the 3rd night kept watch. Where the apparition comes. I knew your father. These hands are not more like.
Did you not speak to it?
My lord, I did, but answer made none, and rushed in haste and vanished from our sight.
Looked he frowningly?
A countenance more in sorrow than in anger. Very pale.
This troubles me. Thou would I have been there. I will watch tonight. For a chance to walk again.
I warrant it will.
If this spirit assume my noble father's person, I will speak to it though hell itself should gape and bid me hold my peace. It's very well. On the platform for 11 and 12. I'll visit you.
My duty to your honor.
Guarantees! Put me down!
Hold on now,
Right
sister.
now! My hair.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell, and sister, do let me hear from you.
Doubt that.
For Hamlet, and the trifling of his favor, hold it avowed in the youth of priming nature. Forward, not permanent, sweet, not lasting. Perhaps he loves you now, but his will is not his own. He himself is subject to his birth. On his choice depend the safety and health of this whole state. The main voice of Denmark goes with all. Weigh what loss your honor may sustain if with too credent ear you list his songs, or lose your heart, or your chaste treasure open to his unmastered importunity. Fear it, Ophelia. Fear it, my dear sister. keep you in the rear of your affection, out of the shock, danger, of desire. Be wary. Best safety lies in fear.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart. But good my brother, do not, as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny ways to heaven, whilst, like a puffed and reckless libertine, himself the primrose path of dalliance treads.
Fear me not. Oh, but I stay too long. Here our father comes.
Yet here, Leartes! Aboard, aboard, for shame! The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are staying. There my blessing with thee. See thou, Carrie, and give the thoughts no tongue. Be thou familiar with but no means bold. Those friends thou hast, grapple them to thy soul with hopes of steel, but do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new hatched, full-fledged comrade. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in, bear that the opposed beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. And costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy, rich, not gaudy. For the apparel oft proclaims the man. Neither a bard nor lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and free. This, above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell. My blessed season listen thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord. Farewell, Ophelia, and do remember what I have said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell.
What is Ophelia? He hath said to you.
So please you, something touching on the Lord Hamlet.
It is told me he hath very oft of late given private time to you, and you yourself have of your audience been most free and bounteous. What is between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath, my lord, late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection? Pooh! You speak like a green girl unstitched in such perilous circumstance. Do you believe his
Tenders.
as you call them?
Do not know, my lord, but I should think.
I'll teach you. Think yourself a bait that you have taken these tenders for true pay, which are not sterling. Tender yourself more dearly, or you'll tender me a fool.
My lord, he hath importuned me with love in honorable fashion, and hath given countenance to his speech, my lord, with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
Ophelia, do not believe his vows. I would not, in plain terms, from this time forth have you so slander any moment leisure as to talk with or give words with the Lord Hamlet. Yes!
Eat her hair.
What hour now?
I think it lacks a 12.
No, it struck.
Look, my lord, it comes.
Angels and ministers of grace, defend us! Be thou a spirit of help, or goblin damned, comes in such questionable shape. I shall call thee Hamlet, King. Father, oh, answer me! Be not burst in ignorance, but tell why thy canonized bones hearsed in death have burst their cerements. Say, why, whatsoever, and what should we do?
It beckons you to go away with it.
Do not follow.
Oh, do not go, my lord.
Why? What should be the fear? Can I not set my life in a pin's feet and ask for my soul? What can it do to that now? Still, it waves me forth. Unhand me.
You shall not go, my lord. What if it tempt you toward the flood, or to the dreadful summit of the cliff, or take on some other horrible form which might deprive your sovereignty of reason and drive you into madness?
My fate cries out and makes each heady artery in this body as hardy as Neiman's lion's nerve. Still, I am beckoning forth. Unhand me. Go on. I'll follow thee.
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Where wilt thou lead me? Speak. I'll go no further.
Mark.
Speak. I'm bound to hear.
So art thou to revenge when thou shalt hear.
What?
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and days confined in fasting fires to defy crimes done in my days of nature, herbert and herbage to me. But list, if thou didst ever thy father love, revenge is foul and most unnatural murder. Murder most foul, strange and unnatural.
Haste me know it, that I, with wings swift, shall sweep to my revenge.
I find thee apt. Now, Hamlet here, 'tis given out that sleeping in my orchard a serpent stung me, but know thou, noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life, now wears his crown.
My prophetic soul.
Ah, that incestuous, that adulterate beast with witchcraft of his wit, with traitorous gifts won to his own shameful lust, the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. Oh, Hamlet, brief let me be, sleeping within my orchard, my customs always of the afternoon. Upon my secure hour, thy uncle stole with juice of cursed heaven on in a vial, and in my ear did pour leopardess distilment. Thus I was sleeping by a brother's hand of life, of crown, of queen at once dispatched, cut off even in the blossoms of my sin, no reckoning me, but sent to my account with all my imperfections on my head. Oh, horrible, most horrible. If thou be buried not, let not the royal benediction Denmark being a country luxury and band exist. But, however so thou pursuest this act, take not the mind, nor let the soul contrive against thy mother. Leave her to heaven. Fare thee well, Hamlet. Remember me.
You host of heaven. No wonder. What else? Remember thee. From the table of my memory, I will wipe away all trivial fond records, all songs of books, all forms, all pressures past. The youth and observation copied here, and thy commandment shall live alone inside my brain. Most pernicious one. Villain! Villain! Smiling damned villain! So, Uncle, there you are. Out of my word. Remember me.
My lord, what news, my lord?
Wonderful.
Well, good my lord, tell it.
Thank you. You reveal it.
My lord, I will not.
Will you secret?
By heaven, I will.
There is a villain dwelling in jail.
There needs no ghost come from the grave to tell us this.
All right, you are in the right. It's an honest ghost, let me tell you that. As for your desire to know what is between us, friend, as you are, friend, give me but one poor request.
What do you say, my lord?
To never make known what you've seen here tonight.
My lord, I will not.
Nay, swear upon my soul. Swear.
Swear.
I shall, perchance hereafter, put an end to disposition on it. No matter how odd I bear myself, you shall at such time see me never know that you know of me.
I swear it.
To grace and mercy make the most. And what a man is Hamlet is going to do to express his love and friendly to you, God willing, shall not lack. But it's going to get. And still your fingers on your lips, I pray you. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, that are friend than your philosophy. I'm as out of joy, cursed slave. Whatever I was born to say. Come.
How now, Billy? What's the matter?
Oh, my lord, I have been so afraid!
What in the name of God?
My lord! I was sewing. Lord Hamlet, with his doublet all unbraced, ungartered, and well, down to his ankle, pale as his shirt, his knees knocking each other, and with a look as if he'd been loosed out of hell, comes before me.
What?
He took me by the wrist, and goes he to the length of all his arm, and with his other hand thus over his brow, he falls to such perusal of my face as he would draw it. Grr! Grr! Long stayed he so!
Mad for thy love.
My lord.
I'm sorry. Have you given him any hard words of late?
No, my good lord, but as you did command, I did repel his fetters and denied his access to me.
That hath made him mad. I am sorry, that was better heed and judgment I had not quoted him. I feared he did but trifle. By heaven, it is as proper to our age to cast beyond ourselves in our opinions as it is common for the younger sort to lack discretion. Come, go we to the king. This must be known. Rosencrantz, Gilbert, my lord, Polonius.
Yeah. Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, did we much long to see you. The need that we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something you have heard of Hamlet's transformation, call it. The exterior nor the inward man resembles that it was. What it should be, more than his father's death, that hath put him such from the understanding of himself, I cannot dream of. I entreat you both, that being brought up such young days with him, draw him on some pleasures, and you may glean whether aught to us unknown afflicts him thus.
Good kids, he hath much talked of you, and sure I am that two are not living to whom he more adheres. If it please you to show us such gentry goodwill as to expend your time with us a while, your visitation shall receive such thanks as befits a king's remembrance.
Both your majesty's might by the sovereign power you have of us. Put your dread pleasures more into command than entreaty.
But we both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full bent to lay our services freely at your feet. To be kind.
Thanks.
Thanks, and I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son. Ophelia, show these two where Hamlet is.
Heavens, may our presence and practices be both pleasing and helpful to him.
Amen.
I do think that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, do speak of that I do long to hear. Sweet Gertrude, he hath found the source of all of your son's distemper.
I doubt it's no other but the main, his father's death and our over hasty marriage.
My liege, and madam, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness the limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad call I it. For to define true madness, for this to be nothing else but mad. But let that go. That he is mad, 'tis true, 'tis true, 'tis a pity. But mad we will grant him then. For now, we must find out the cause of this effect, or rather say the cause of this defect. For this effect,
More matter, less art.
My daughter, in her duty and obedience, hath given me this. Gather and surmise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia. That's an ill phrase. A vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase. Thus, in her excellent white bosom, these
Came this from Hamlet to her?
Good madam, stay a while. Doubt that the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love, oh dear Ophelia. This, in obedience, hath my daughter shown me.
And how hath she received his love?
What do you think of me?
As a man both noble and honorable.
I would fain prove so if I looked upon this love with idle side. What might you think? No, my young mistress, thus I did to speak. Lord Hamlet is a prince out of thy star. This cannot be. Then her precepts here. I said, lock yourself in his resort, accept no messengers, receive no tokens. And done, She took the fruits of my advice, and he repulsed, short tale to make, fell into an illness, then to a sadness, then to a loss, then to a weakness, and then to the madness where now he raves.
You think 'tis this?
Maybe very likely.
Have there ever been such a time that I have positively said 'tis so and it proved otherwise?
Not that I know.
Take this from this if this be otherwise. If circumstances lead me, I will prove and find where truth is hid.
How?
Sometimes he walks 4 hours together here in the lobby.
So he does indeed.
At such a time, I'll loose my daughter to him. Be when I mark the encounter. If you love her not, let me be no assistant to a state, but keep the farming Carters.
We will try it.
Oh, but look where sadly the poor wretch comes reading.
Oh, wait, I do beseech you both. Away, away, away. I'll board him presently. How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Well, God of mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent. Well, you're a fishmonger.
Aye, my lord.
Well, then I would that you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord.
Nah, sir, to be honest as this world goes is to be one man picked out of 10,000.
That's very true, my lord.
The son, Magnus, dead gone. Have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but not as your daughter may conceive. Look to it, friend.
What say you by this? Still harping on my daughter, yet he knew me not at first. Said I was a fishmonger. It is far gone. Far gone. Though in my youth I did suffer the extremities of love much like this. I will speak with him again. What do you read, my lord?
Words. Words. Words.
What is the matter, my lord?
Between who?
I mean, the matter that you read, my lord.
Slanders, sir. You see, the satirical rogue says here that old men have gray beards, wrinkled faces, and a plentiful lack of wit, all of which I most potently and powerfully believe. And yet I feel it not honesty to have it thus set down that you, sir, should be as old as I am if like a crab you could go backwards.
Oh, this be madness, yet there is method in it. Will you walk out there, my lord?
Into my grave.
Indeed, that is out of the air. His replies are happiness that madness sometimes hits on. I will leave him and contrive the means of meeting between him and my daughter. My honorable lord, I will most humbly take my leave of you.
You, sir, cannot take anything from me that I would more willingly part with all. Except my life. Oh, except my life. Except my life.
Fare you well, my lord, and good luck with everything.
These tedious old fools. My excellent good friends. How does you both?
Happy, and that we're not over happy, but on fortune's cap, not the very butt.
Nor the soles of her shoe?
Neither, my lord.
Did you live about her waist or in the middle of her favor?
Oh, faith in her private suite.
She is a strumpet. But what's the news?
None, my lord. But that the world's grown honest.
Well, doomsday's near.
But
your news is not true, so let me question more in particular. What have you, good friends, deserved at the hands of fate that she sends you to prison for?
Prison, my lord?
Denmark's a prison.
then the world is one.
Sure, a goodly one. One with many wards, confines, and dungeons. Denmark being one of the worst.
We think not so, my lord.
Well, it'd be neither good nor bad, but think it makes us suffer. But in the beaten way of friendship, what make you an else?
To visit you, my lord, no other occasion.
Were you not sent for? Is it free visitation? Your own inclined? Come on. Come on. They speak.
What should we say, my lord?
You were sent for. There's a kind of confession in your looks that your modesties have not craft enough to color. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
Oh, my lord, we were sent for.
I will tell you why. I have, as of late, seemed to have lost all my mirth. The earth seems to me sterile. This excellent canopy of air, look you, this overhanging firmament, this majestical roof netted in golden fire seems to me a foul, pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is man. How noble in reason, infinite in faculty, and then moving, how admirable, and yet man delights me not. Nay, nor woman neither. But by your smiling you seem to say so.
Oh, my lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
No. Why'd you laugh then?
To think, my lord, man delights you not. What Legion entertainment shall the players receive from you? We quoted them on the way, and hither they are coming to offer you service.
What players are they?
Those that you were wont to take delight in. The, tragedians of the city.
Here doth the players
The
come.
players are come hither.
Welcome, masters. Welcome all. I'm glad to see you well. Come. Come with the taste of your father. Give him the passion to speak.
What speech, my lord?
I heard thee speak a speech once. Please, not the million. 'Twas heavy art of the general, but it was as I received it, an excellent play. It live in your memory. One speech in it I chiefly loved was Aeneas' tale to Dido. In your memory begin. Let me see. So proceed.
And on finds him, Prius at Priam, and rage strikes wide, with a whip and wind of his fell sword, the under-father falls, and the sword which was declining on the milky head of revered Priam seemed in the air to stick, and there he stood as a painted tyrant, and like a natural to his will and matter, did nothing. And as we often see against some storm, a silence in the heavens. The bold wind speechless, and the orb below as hushed as death. And on a dreadful thunder over in the region, and never did the Cyclops' hammer fall on Mars' armor forged with less remorse than Prius' bleeding sword now falls on Priam. Out thou strumpet, all you gods take away her power.
It's too long!
Sam.
Oh, but who had seen the mobile queen?
Oh.
Mobile queen, that's good.
Run up and down, threatening flames, when she saw Prius making malicious sport with his sword her husband's limbs. Oh, the instant burst of clamor would have made milk out of the burning eyes of heaven.
Oh,
Tis well. I'll have thee speak the rest out soon. Lady, Will you see the players well bestowed? Take
Yeah.
Follow that lady.
Oh, friend, I'll start here. Will you play the murder of Gonzaga? We'll have that tonight. You are welcome, Elsie. You are welcome, but my uncle, father, and my aunt mother are deceived.
In what way, my lord?
I'm of mad north-northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw. I'll leave you till night. You are welcome in Elsinore. Now I am alone. About my brain, I've heard that guilty creatures sit in the plate have been so soul-struck by the very cunning of the scene that they have professed their malfactions. A murder that would have no tongue will speak. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before my uncle. If he would flinch, I know my course. This spirit that I have seen may be the devil. And the devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape, yet perhaps in my melancholy he abuses me to damn. Play is the thing, wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
And can you, by no drift of circumstance, get from him why he puts on this confusion, grating so harshly all his days of quiet with this turbulent and dangerous lunacy?
He admits his distraction, but from what cause he by no means speaks.
With a crafty madness, he keeps aloof when we would draw him onto some confession of his true state.
Did you assay him any pastime?
Madam, it so fell out that of certain players we did tell him, and there did seem in him a kind of joy to hear of it. They are about the court, and they have ordered this night lay before him.
And he beseeched me to entreat your majesties to hear and see the matter.
With all my heart, and it doth content me much to hear him so inclined. Give him further edge, and draw his purposes onto these delights.
We shall, my lord.
Sweet Gertrude, leave us two, for we have closely sent for Hamlet hither, so that as 'twere by accident he may hear affront Ophelia, and we may gather as he is behaved, whether it be the affliction of his love or no, that he suffers for.
I shall obey you. And for your part, Ophelia, I do hope that you can be the happy cause of Hamlet's wildness and your virtue bring him his wonted way again.
Ophelia, sit you here. I am coming. Let's withdraw, my lord.
Be or not to be, that's the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take up arms against a sea of troublesome battle, supposing and to die. To sleep not sleep to say we end the heartache and 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis their consummation. Devoutly to be wished. To die. To sleep, perchance to dream. There's the road. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come. We've shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity so long lasting. Who would bear the whips and scorns of time? The oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, pangs of despised love, when he himself might his quietest make with the bare body. Would fartless bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life. The fear of something after death, that undiscovered country from whose bourne a traveler returns. Puzzles the whip, makes us rather bear our ills than fly off to those that we know not of. And thus, conscience does make cowards of us all. Made a few of resolution is sicklied over with the pale cast of thought. In this regard, their currents turn awry and lose the main of action. Pharaoh feeling in our horizons. He on my sins remember.
My lord, how does your honor for this many a day?
We thank you. Well.
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I've long longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them.
No, I never gave you one.
Honored lord, you know right well you did. Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so.
You should not have believed me. I loved you not. To a nunnery. Go. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? Myself that accused me of such things that it were better that my mother had not borne me. I am very proud, revengeful, and ambitious, with more offenses at my back than I have thoughts to put them in, imagination to give them shape, or time to act them in. Wretched men, such as I do, crawling between heaven and earth, we are but errant knaves all, believe none of us. To a nunnery. Go. Where's your father?
At home, my lord.
Well, then let the doors be shut upon him, so that he may play the fool nowhere but in his own house. Farewell.
Oh, help him, you sweet heavens!
To a nunnery. Go. Go. If thou wilt marry a fool. For wise men know well enough what monsters she maketh them fair by.
Heavenly powers, restore him!
Say, we will have no more marriages. Those that are married already, all but one shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To another. Go.
Oh. What a noble mind is here overthrown. And I, of ladies most deject and wretched, now see that noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells jangled, out of tune and harsh. Oh, woe is me to have seen what I have seen. See what I see.
Love, his affections do not that way tend, nor nothing in his soul o'er which his melancholy sits on brood.
But yet do I believe the origin and commencement of his grief sprung from neglected love. Ophelia, you need not tell us what Lord Hamlet said. We heard it all. My lord, if you hold it fit, after the play, let his queen mother all alone entreat him to show his grief. And I'll be placed, so please you, in the ear of all their conference.
It shall be so. Madness in great ones must not unwatched go.
Now, the king hear this piece of work,
And the queen too.
bid they make haste. Horatio!
Here, my sweet lord, at your service.
Horatio, thou art even as just a friend as ever my conversation broke on.
My good lord.
Nay, do not think I flattered. For what advancement can I hope from thee? Thou hast no revenue but thy good spirits.
Ha ha.
Must thou hear me? Listen, as ever my soul was mistress of her choice, and could between friends distinguish her relation. In my heart's core, in my heart of hearts, something too much of this. There's a play tonight for the king. Now, one scene of a coincident circumstance I told thee of my father's death. I pray thee. And thou seest this, and observe mine. Mine eyes will bring it to his face, and afterwards we'll both join our judgments in censure of the scene.
Well,
They're coming. I must be out. You join us.
Thank you, miss. Thank you, miss.
Yeah, and that's why, because you can never get your hair done in time. I wouldn't have to swap with you if you get ready on time.
All right.
Be a pleasure today.
Ah, my lord.
Oh, Hamlet, come sit by me.
Nay, mother, here's metal more attractive. Lady, shall I lie in your lap?
No, my lord.
I mean my head upon your lap. Did you think I meant country matters?
Are married, my lord.
What should a man do to be married? And look you how cheerfully my mother looks, and my father died within these 2 hours.
Nay, 'tis 2 months, my lord.
So much. Well, there's hope then that a man's memory may outlive his life by half a year. Can we press play, please?
All right, don't get your panties in a twist.
There they are. All their glory.
Oh, don't they look happy?
I'm tired too.
Yeah, look, this movie's putting him to sleep too.
Now that's gonna be Gilded's turn by the end of this.
You're right, I'm almost vertical as we speak.
Who sleeps like that?
Everybody runs.
I don't sleep like that.
Oh, his arm's gonna cramp for sure.
Who's that supposed to be?
Oh, here.
Sort of,
Who's that?
Hank Brown
Oh, get it
right
in.
here.
That's not how you do that.
That's how he did it.
That's not like that.
It worked.
Oh, I guess it worked.
Oh, I don't believe it.
Oh, you don't believe this one, Guildenstern.
Watch. That's it.
That's how we are. That's how Guildenstern does see are. That's
Oh, look at this. Move on. He's gonna watch this.
to the curb. Rejected.
He's got some more game. You watch. Ah, there we
Are
go.
those fake flowers?
Yes, sir.
No.
What do you think?
I think they're fake flowers.
Oh, he's got something up his sleeve. You watch. You see. There you go, player. There you are.
Well, I mean, I think that rock too.
Ain't nobody gonna get you a rock, Rose.
Oh, would you hush up, Guildenstern?
Well, that didn't take long.
Heavy is the crown.
Give me some light! Away!
Hamlet!
Away!
Would you hurry up?
I'm hurrying, Rose.
Word for 1,000 pounds since received.
Very well, my lord.
Upon the poisoning.
I did very well note him.
Some music.
Good, my lord. A word with you, the king, sir.
What of him?
Marvelous distemper. No, but that's
The queen, your mother, in great affliction of spirit, has sent me to you.
You're welcome.
Nay, good my lord. This courtesy is not of the right breed. Give me an honest answer, and I will do your mother's commandment. If not, your pardon and my return shall be the end of my business.
Thus she says your behavior has struck her into amazement.
Wonderful. A son that can so amaze a mother.
She desires to speak with you.
I will come. Have you any further trade with us?
Good my lord, what is the cause of your distemper? You do surely bar the door upon your own liberty if you deny your priest, your friend.
Will you play upon this pipe?
I cannot.
I pray.
Believe me, my lord, I cannot.
I do beseech
I
you.
know no touch of it.
'Tis as easy as lying. Listen. Govern these vintages between your fingers and thumb. Get it breath with your mouth, and it will discourse most eloquent music.
I have not the skill.
How pitiful a thing you make of me. If you would play upon me, you would seem to know my stops. You would pluck out the very heart of my mystery, and yet there is so much music in this little organ, you can't make it play. Split. Do you think I'm easier played on than a pipe? You can call me what it you would like. You can fret me, but you cannot play upon me. God bless you, sir.
My lord, the queen would speak with you, and presently.
Do you see yonder cloud in shape of a camel?
'Tis like a camel indeed.
He thinks it's like a weasel.
It is like a weasel.
Perhaps a whale?
Very like a whale.
I will come to my mother by and by. I said I will come by and by.
I will say so.
Yeah, well, by and by is easily said. Leave me, friends. Now to my mother. Pardon me. It was not thy nature, but not the soul of Nero enter this firm bosom. Let me be cruel, not unnatural. I will speak daggers to her, but use them whatsoever in my words she be sin. Never so, my soul's concealed.
My lord, he's going to his mother. Behind the R's, I'll convey myself to hear the process. And as you said, and wisely was it said, 'tis meet that more audience than a mother, since nature makes them partial, should o'erhear. Hear you well, my liege. I'll call upon you ere you go to bed and tell you what I know. Thanks.
Oh, my offense is rank. It smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon it. A brother's murder. Pray can I not? My stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. What if this hand were thicker than itself, with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in all the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Well, what form of prayer could serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder. That cannot be, because I am still possessed of all the effects for which I did the murder. My crown, my own ambition, my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offense. O wretched state! O bosom black as death! Help, angels, make a save! Bow, stubborn knees, and all may be well.
I'll do it. He's a prayer. Now I'll do it. A villain sends my father to heaven, and I, his sole son, do this same villain send to heaven. This is not my fault. He took my father from me. His crimes broad blown. 'tis heavy with him. And am I then revenged? To take him in the passage of his soul when he's but seasoned and prepped for the journey? No! Sword. And no, the more horrid hint. For when he isn't gambling, or drinking, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed, or about some other act, with no relish of salvation in it, his soul may be as black as hell, where to it goes. My mother stays. This physic prolongs thy sickly days.
My words fly up. My thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
Ma! Ma! Mother! Now, Mother, what seems to be the issue?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, thou hast my father much offended.
Oh, come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, you question with the wicked one.
Have you forgot me?
Mother, you're the queen. Your husband's brother's wife. And would it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay then, I'll set those you that can speak.
There, come on, sit down. You go not till I set you up a glass where you can see the inmost part of yourself.
What wilt thou do? Murder me?
Help! Help!
What? Oh! Help!
Help!
No!
What hast thou done?
I know not. Is it the king? Thou rash, wretched, intruding fool!
What bloody deed is this?
Bloody deed. Almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother.
As kill a king?
Lady, 'twas my word.
What have I done that thou turnest thy tongue in such rude noise against me?
Such an act that blurs the blush and grace of modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, makes marriage vows as false as Dicer's oath. The very soul is thought sick at the act.
What act?
You hear? Upon this picture, this counterfeit presentment of two brothers, this was your husband. Have you eyes? Could you on this fair mountain leaf to feed and batten on the moor? Have you eyes? You cannot call it love. This devil that hath coaxed into you, shame. Where is thy blush?
Hamlet, speak no more. Turn my eyes into my very soul. These words are like daggers in my ears. No more.
A murderer and a villain. A slave, not 20th part the tithe of your president lord. A cut purse of the empire that from the shelf the precious diadem stole and put in his pocket. No more! A king of shreds and actions. Save for your heavenly queens.
He's mad.
Come, your tardy son and child that lacks in judgment at the important acting of your dread command. Thou say!
Speak to her, Hamlet.
How goes it with you, lady?
How is it with you that you bend your vision on vacancy, that you, with incorporeal air, do hold discourse? Good son, where do you look?
On him! You are pale, he glared. Look not upon me, look on him, do you see nothing there?
Nothing at all. Yet all is what I see.
But you how it steals away.
This is the very coinage of your brain. This bodiless creation ecstasy is very cunning in.
It is not madness that I utter, yourself to heaven. Repent what's past, avoid what's to come, and do not spread compost on the weeds to make them ranker.
Hamlet has cut my heart in twain.
Throw away the worst of party, and live the purer with the other half. Good night. But go not on this bed. Assume a virtue, if you have it. Refrain tonight, and that will lend a kind of easiness to the next abstinence, the next more easy. As for this Lord, I do it. And that please it so to punish me with this. I will bestow him, will answer well, death I get him. So again. One more thing to learn.
What?
I'll let the Bloat King have you rattle this matter out that I'm essentially not in madness, but rather madcraft.
If words be made of breath and breath of life, I have no life to breathe but thou hast set me.
Where's your son?
Lord, what I've seen tonight.
What, Gertrude? How is this Hamlet?
Mad as the sea and wind between both contend which is mightier. In his lawless fit, behind the arras heard something stir. Drew his rapier, cried, "A rat!" and killed the unseen good old man.
Oh, heavy deed! It had been so with us had we been there. His liberty, it is full of threats to all, to you yourself, to us, to everyone. Where is he gone?
To draw apart the body he's killed. He weeps for what he's done.
Friends both! Oh, Guildenstern, some further aid! Hamlet, in madness, hath Polonius slain, and hath dragged his body from here. Go seek him out, speak fair, and bring the body to me. I pray you hasten this. Come away, Gertrude. Come away!
Hamlet!
Hamlet!
What have you done, my lord, with the dead body?
Compounded to dust where 'tis his king.
Tell us where 'tis that we may take it.
I believe it.
Believe what?
I can keep my own counsel, but not that of a damn sponge.
Take you me for a sponge, my lord?
Madam. A sponge that soaks up countenance, and when the king needs what you've gleaned, it is but squeezing you. And sponge, you shall be dry again.
Show us where the body is, and come with us to the king.
Body is with the king. King. It's not a body. King is a thing.
A thing, my lord?
Of nothing. Bring me to him.
How now?
Where the dead body is bestowed, we cannot get from him.
Now, Hamlet, where is Polonius?
At supper.
Supper. Where?
Not where he eats. Where he's eating. You see a certain convocation of politic worms are eating at him? You know, we fat all creatures to fat ourselves, and we fat ourselves from maggots.
What?
A man may fish with the worm that I fed off the king, and then feed off that fish that I ate of the worm.
What dost you mean by this?
Nothing. Other than to show you how a king can end up in the guts of a pig.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven. Sent hither to see. If your messenger find him not there, just seek him out in the other place. Yourself.
He rose, donned his clothes, knocked the chamber door, but in the maid that outer maid never departed more. My gifts, my saint charity, alack and fie for shame.
Ophelia.
We must be patient. I cannot choose but weep to think they should lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it. Good night.
It stems all from her father's death. When sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. First, her father slain. Next, Hamlet, the most violent author. Poor Ophelia, divided from herself and her fair judgment, without which we are pictures or mere beasts. Last and most containing of all these, her brother is in secret come from France with speeches of his father's death.
Where's the king? Oh, thou vile king, give me my father!
Only the Laertes.
Where's the king? Let him go, Gertrude, do not fear. Good Laertes, tell me why thou art thus incensed. Let him go. crooked. Speak, man.
Where's my father?
Dead.
But not by him.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell allegiance, vows to the blackest devil, conscience and grace to the profoundest pit. I dare damnation. To this point I stand, that both the worlds I give to negligence. Let come what comes, only I'll be most revenged for my father.
Good Laertes, if you desire to know the circumstances of your dear father's death, is it writ in your revenge?
Aye! How now? What noise is that? Oh, heat. Dry up my brains. Tears. 70 times salt. Burn out the sense and virtue of mine eye. Madness shall be paid by weight. Dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia, by heavens, can it be that a young maid's wits should be as mortal as an old man's life? Hadst thou thy wits and didst persuade revenge,
That's for thought.
'tis a documented madness, tossed in remembrance fit.
There's spell for you. And columbines. There's room for you. And here's some for me. We may call it Hermit Grace Sundays. Oh. You must wear your room with difference. This year was fast and was its home. He is gone, he is gone, and we cast away Christian souls. I pray, God, God be with you.
Do you see this, oh God?
Good Laertes, I commune with your grief. And where the offense is, let the great axe fall. He which hath your noble father slain.
Tell.
Prince Hamlet.
Why proceeded you not against these speech so chronicle and so capital in nature?
Reason, which to you may seem much unsinewed, yet to me is strong. His mother, the queen, lives almost by his looks, and as for myself, be it a blessing or a plague, either which, she's so conjunctive to my life and soul, like a star that moves not but in its sphere. I could not but buy her.
And so have I, a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate terms. Only I will have my revenge.
I loved your father. Will you be ruled by me?
I'm a lord, so you will not o'errule me to a peace.
To thine own peace. For I will work Hamlet to an exploit, under the which he shall fall. And for his death no wind of blame shall breathe, but that even his mother will uncharge the practice and call it accident.
My lord, I will be ruled if you could devise it so.
You've been talked of since your travels much, and in Hamlet's hearing for a quality wherein they say you shine. The sum of all your parts do not pluck such envy from him as did that one. Good Laertes, we will praise your excellence, bring you in together, and wager on your heads, and you may requite him for your good father.
I will do it. And for that purpose, I bought an unction of a mountebank, so mortal that, but dip a knife in it, where it draws blood, death. That is but scratched withal. I'll touch my point with this contagion, that if I gall him slightly, may be death.
Let's further think of this. If this should fail, soften. Let me see. I have it. When you are in your motion and you are hot and dry and he calls for drink, I'll have prepared him a chalice. Whereupon, but sipping, if he should escape your venom stuck, our purpose may hold here. Now, sweet queen.
One woe doth follow another. So quickly they follow. Your sister's drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Where?
There's a willow, grows aslant a brook. It was there that she fell. Her clothes spread white and mermaid-like while they bore her up. All the while chanting snatches of old tunes. But long it could not be that her garments, heavy with their drink, bore the poor wretch down to a muddy death.
She's drowned.
Drowned.
Too much of water, hast thou, or Ophelia? And so therefore, I'll forbid my tears. But yet, I have a speech of fire. That thing would blaze, but that this folly doubts it.
No, let's follow Gertrude. What I had to do to calm his rage. Now I fear this will just give it start all over again. Therefore, let's follow.
Hey, get back! Hey, Horatio. Whose grave is this?
That's Yorick's skull. King's Jester.
Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him. 'Twas a fellow of infinite jest. Yet one on his back 1,000 times. Where be your jibes now, huh? Your song? Flashes of merriment? Horatio, answer me with one thing.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander ever looked this fashion in the ground? Or smelled so?
Even so, my lord.
I hear you. Let's away.
That's Laertes.
Lay her in the earth, and from her may violets spring forth. A ministering angel shall my sister be.
Hamlet!
The devil take thy soul!
Take thy fingers from my throat. Little I'm disgusted and rash. I have something in me, dangerous, which let thou license fear. Hold off thy hand.
Pluck them asunder.
I love no fear.
Good my lord, be quiet!
40,000 brothers! And all their quantity of love couldn't make up my sum. What will thou do for her?
Oh, he's mad, Laertes.
For the love of God,
Show
forbear
me
him.
what thou do. We? Fight? Tear thyself? Nay. Right, just as well.
Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech, and we'll put matters to its present push.
Horatio, I'm sorry. And as for Laertes, I did forget myself this day. Grief did put me in but a towering passion.
Thou art not ignorant of what excellence Laertes
I
is.
dare not confess that. Lest I compare myself with him.
I mean to for his weapon,
Weapon.
rapier and dagger.
That's two weapons, right?
The king, my lord, hath wagered 6 Barbary horses, that in a dozen passes between yourself and him, he shall not exceed you 3 hits.
But now if I answer no.
Answer no! You will Nay, I will forestall them hither and say you are not fit.
Not a whit. We defy Augury. There's a special providence in the fall of despair. Be not now, then it will be to come. If it be not to come, then it will be now.
Come! Hamlet, come take this hand for me.
You must pardon, sir, as you are a gentleman. When I said I hereby proclaim this madness. Was Hamlet ever wronged? Laertes never Hamlet.
I am satisfied in nature. The motive, in this case, should stir me most to my revenge. Only in my terms of honor, I stand aloof. I do receive your offered love, like love, and will not wrong it.
I embrace it freely. Will his brothers wager frankly play? Come! The foils.
Come, one for me.
Given the foils, Rosencrantz. Cousin Hamlet, you do know the wager.
Ah, very well. It appears your grace hath laid the odds on the weaker side.
I do not fear, I've seen you both.
This suits me well.
This one is too heavy, let me see another.
The king drinks to Hamlet's better breath. Come, begin, and judges, bear a wary eye.
Well then, sir.
Come, my lord.
Come on, Hamlet.
Come on! Go!
A touch.
What? No?
Judgment.
A hit. A palpable hit.
Well, again.
Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Come, drink to thy health.
Set it by a while. I'll play this bout first. I dare not drink yet. Come on, then. Another hit will say you.
A touch I do confess.
Our son shall win.
Hamlet!
Gertrude!
Let me portray my brow. Oh, yes.
Come for the third, Laertes. You but dally. I pray you. Pass with your best violence, for I'm afeard you make a wanton out of me.
Say you so. Come on then. Have action now.
They bleed on both sides. How is it, my lord? Laertes.
I am justly killed with mine own treachery.
Look to the queen.
She swoons to see them bleed.
No, Hamlet. Drink is poison.
Villainy! Treachery, seek it out!
It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. In thee, there is not a half an hour of life. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, unbaited and envenomed. The foul cracked ice hath turned itself on me low. Here I lie, never to rise again. The queen is poisoned. Oh, I can no more. The king's to blame.
The point. And venom too.
Then venom does not work. Oh, defend me, friends. I'm but wounded.
Murderous, incestuous, damned, dang! Drink of this potion. Follow my mother.
Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death come not upon me.
are thine on me. Heaven makes me free of it. Shall I live? I look pale and tremble. Look at audience to this act. I have as this death-filled sergeant was swiftly to rest, I am telling you. Let it be.
No! 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 No!
Horatio, how livest? For me and my cause are apt to be unsatisfied.
Never believe it. Look, there's yet some liquor.
Give me the cup. I'll have it. Horatio. What a wounded name. Didst ever hold me in thy heart? Tell my story. Rest. His songs.
Now cracks the noble heart. Good night, sweet prince. When flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. Not with his mouth. He never gave commandment for their deaths. But let me speak to a yet unknowing world how these things came about. So shall you hear of carnal, bloody, and unnatural acts. Of accidental judgments. And casual slaughters. Of death put on by cunning and forced cause. And in this upshot, purposes mistook. Of this, I also have cause to speak.
It's winter all over again, dark and cold over again. Though there's beauty in snow, I know, and they will all melt away, I know. It's winter all You can try and catch a snowflake, and I do. Try and hold it close, it disappears, just like you. Winter all over again. I suggest you're staying in. I can't tell you when it's over. If you ever be my lover again. Winter all over again. Dark and cold over again. Though there's beauty in snow, winter all over again. Winter all over again. Winter all over again.
All this I can truly deliver.
Closer.